TBSA, which means total body surface area. In burn questions, TBSA tells you what percentage of the patient's body is burned. And this matters because TBSA helps you decide burn stability, fluid needs, and whether the patient may need a burn center or higher level care. The first thing that I need you to know is this. You do not count every red area. For TBSA, you count partial thickness and full thickness burns. So you do not include superficial first-degree burns, like simple redness without deeper skin damage, nothing of that. So that's a common nursing school trap. For adults, the fastest way to estimate the TBSA is something called the rule of 9. So it breaks the body into sections. Head and neck is 9%, each arm is 9%, the anterior trunk 18, posterior trunk 18, each leg 18, and the perineum 1%. When you add all of that together, that will give you 100 of the whole body surface area. Now, that will be giving you an estimate of how much body surface area is involved. One important detail is that when I say each arm is 9%, that means the entire arm, fully, top to bottom. So, if the question says only the front of one arm, that is half of 9, which is 4.5%. Same thing with the legs. One entire leg is 18, but the front of the leg is 9. The back of the leg is 9. Now, the head and the neck is 9% total. So the front of the head and the neck is 4.5, the back is 4.5. But do not confuse that with the trunk, okay? The anterior trunk is already 18, the back is already 18. We good? So again, if the question says burn to the anterior right arm on the anterior trunk, you do 4.5 plus 18, now not 9 plus 18. Alright, so let's do some quick examples. Your patient has a burn to the entire anterior trunk and one entire arm. The anterior trunk we know is 18 and one arm is 9. So 18 plus 9 equals 27 TBSA, right? That means if this patient has a burn over 27% of the total body surface area. Another example, let's say that the patient has burn to the head and the neck, the front of the trunk, and the perineum. So head and neck is 9%, anterior trunk, that's 18, perineum is 1. So 9 plus 18 plus 1 will be equals to 28 TBSA. So that's the number that you will be using when calculating the fluid needs with the Parkland formula. Now, for smaller or scattered burns, you may see something called the palm method. So the patient's whole hand, including the fingers, is about 1% of the TBSA. And that can help you estimate the small irregular burn areas. Alright, so you can use your hand, and based on that, that's 1%. One more thing, the rule of 9 is mainly for adults. Children have a different body proportion, so pediatric burn calculation often use something called Lund-Browder chart, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so remember, TBSA is the percentage of body that has been burned, not first degree burn, partial or full thickness. You do not count superficial burns. Now we use the rule of 9 always for adults. And once you have the TBSA number, you can plug it into the Parkland formula, okay? And that's when the next video comes next. You can check that video after.